Welcome back to Real Talk About Feminism podcast. I'm Mackenzie.
I'm Haley. We are so excited to be back with you guys for another episode. Very heavy topic, so get prepared.
You say that all the time.
I know. There's just a lot of hard stuff going on in the world lately.
There really is. Hurricane Ian, and our topic today, it's honestly, this is why I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
But
it's all on TikTok.
It's all on social media because it's a huge thing.
Yeah, so heavy topic, but we're excited to be with you guys. As always, we are going to start with our obsessions and then get into the episode. So, what is your obsession of the week?
My obsession, and I just started this a couple days ago, but I'm already obsessed with it.
Okay.
I used to wake up, immediately get on my phone, turn on Netflix, and I would have a show in the background.
Turn on Netflix?
Netflix. Show in the background while I get ready. I'd hold my phone around like a freaking iPad kid. I'm not kidding. And I would set it up and get ready. Or I would have a podcast on. I started having quiet mornings where literally I don't even take my phone into the bathroom. I just get up, I leave my phone charging on my nightstand, and I don't have my phone. And then I think it was yesterday morning, I was listening to music in the morning, and that's it. And it's been so nice because I go into my day not feeling so already stimulated, I guess is the best way to say it. And kind of the same with the night. I used to watch a show, and now we don't really have a place to set our phone up, which is kind of helping with that. But I don't even really turn on music all the time.
Really?
And it's a really good feeling. Yeah, I'll get home from work. I won't even really be on my phone. I will just immediately get in the shower. And it's a great feeling.
That is a good feeling. I'm really bad about being on my phone, honestly. It's something that I need to get better at. I don't turn on a show in the morning or something, but for me, especially working at home, I'm by myself in my room all day. And so I have to always have a podcast or music going or something. But then I found that the podcast just end up being background noise.
Right.
And it's you know what? Sometimes it's okay to just be in my thoughts.
Or I really like lo-fi beats.
Yeah, I just
have
beats
something.
On. Yeah. Yeah, that's good though. I like that. I'm going to start doing that too.
Yeah, it really is great.
I love that. Well, my obsession is a song. It's called Uh-Oh by Tate McRae.
It just came out today.
Yeah, when we're recording this, it just came out, and she's been teasing it on TikTok for honestly probably a month now. Well, a month, because last time we recorded, she was teasing it, and that's when I told you she's coming out with this new song. So yeah, I'm obsessed with it. You sent it to me this morning because you woke up before me.
I was up at midnight.
Oh, it came out at midnight?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you sent it to me. Did you send it last night? Oh, I was asleep. I was dead asleep. But yeah, it's a good song, so go listen to it.
It's really good. To add, you really turned me on to her.
Yes.
I am obsessed. That is all I've been listening to. Just the This Is Tate McRae playlist on Spotify. And she's so good. And her songs are so good. I love it.
Yeah, so this morning when I was getting ready, I was listening to that song, and then it just turned it on to the radio of that song.
Yeah.
And literally, I did not skip a song on that radio because Spotify cultivated it so well. It was Tate McRae,
Conan Gray,
Billie Eilish, Olivia Rodrigo, all of those people. And I was like, this is such an elite playlist.
I agree. I agree.
Good. Yeah.
So good. I also want to add too, I'm wearing our new merch, just us. We don't sell our merch, but it is so cute, and it's only on the back, so you can't see it if you're watching on YouTube, but we got matching sweatshirts, and they're really cute, and we're ready for fall.
They say Real Talk About Feminism podcast
in
on the
really
back.
Cute font. Yeah, go follow us on Instagram because we'll do a photo shoot and we'll post pictures of them.
Yeah, and honestly, we want to sell the merch, but we'd have to get enough orders, and we've put it on the stories and everything, and we have enough people that would order it, but we would have to really put it together.
It would be a lot of organization.
Yeah, so if you guys are super interested, maybe we'll put another poll out just to see, especially after seeing these sweatshirts, because honestly they're really cute. So yeah, maybe we'll put it out there again to see, because we would love to sell the merch to you guys and have you guys rep the pod. So we'll put it out there again.
Yeah, it's all about just building our community. Yeah. And yeah, that's just a part of it. We have our totes, we have our sweatshirts, our hats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, those are our obsessions. Any updates that you have that you want to share?
I'm trying to think. I have a big update that I kind of mentioned a couple episodes ago, but I got a new job, and
You didn't fully mention
I
it.
didn't because I hadn't put in my notice yet.
Mhm.
So I was like, I can't really do that.
You're like, "Surprise."
Like hard launching my new job.
Literally.
I got a new job and I'm very excited for it. And my last day at my current job is in a couple days.
Mhm.
So this week was my last full week. And it hit me today because I left my
Aw.
last patient who's my absolute one of my absolute favorites. I have two favorites right now.
Mhm.
But I left their house and then I just started sobbing because he's also
Oh.
starting to transition, which is what we call like before you get into like the active dying phase. I work
Yeah, because Kent works in
Yeah, I work
hospice.
in hospice.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "What the heck is going on?" I work in hospice as a CNA, a nurse aide, and so I'm leaving that job and I'm going to work at Children's Hospital and I'm going to be on the guest relations team in the ER and I'm super excited. I think it'll be a great
Oh, I
opportunity.
didn't know you were working in the ER.
Yeah, I'm working in the ER.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be like I don't know, because everyone that I've told at work is like, "That's gonna be really sad." I'm like, "Yeah, we'll see though." Like, I'm not clinical. Like, I'm not gonna have
No.
patient interaction.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I really don't know what to expect. I'm just waiting for orientation. But
I feel like it's gonna spark you wanting to go to nursing school again.
I think the same thing because
Yeah.
we were just talking about this today because I had
Yeah.
to go get a lab done for my part of my onboarding.
Mhm.
And I was like, I need to keep up with my phlebotomy. And you were like, why? I was like, I kind of want to go to nursing. Like, I'm thinking about nursing school in the future. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm very excited and ready for a new chapter in my life.
Yeah. Well, you've been working as a CNA for a while, especially working as a CNA, like, during the pandemic. Did you work during the pandemic?
Mhm.
Yeah, like, it's just oh, yeah, you did.
Mhm.
It's just exhausting, like, it is really hard working in the medical field.
Yeah, it's exhausting, and, like, hospice is hard in general, and
Oh, yeah.
I've explained this because some people, like I just, like, kinda talk about it nonchalantly because that's my life, right? And, like,
Right.
over the weekend, I'm sure we're gonna have, like, at least 3 people pass away, and so, like,
Mhm.
Monday morning, I'll wake up to emails like that, and, like, that's just normal to me,
Yeah.
right? But, to a lot of people, it's very morbid.
Yeah.
Um, where was I going with this?
You're just, like,
It
desensitized to,
kind
like,
of, but,
death.
like, I mean, that sounds bad, but, like, I kind of am
Yeah.
because to me, like, I know death is actually, like, a very peaceful, beautiful thing if you allow it to be, right?
Yeah.
And, like, that's part of the experience we create. So, I don't remember where I was going with this, actually.
Like, you're just ready for a new chapter, new
Yes, I
job.
really am. I'm ready for something a little more calm and
Mhm.
fitting for my major, I guess, my
Yeah.
degree. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for you. I think it'll be great, and I don't
Thank
know. Yeah,
you.
I just think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And you have a really nice schedule, so
Very nice schedule. I'm gonna
yeah.
work 3/12s, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be nice.
Mhm.
On Mondays and Fridays, I'm gonna be, like, working my butt off, like, "Oh."
Yeah, sorry, I know you wanna get to the episode. I wanna add this one
No,
thing.
add it.
So my last day is Wednesday, and I was
Mhm.
like, "I'm gonna give myself 2 days, right, to
Mhm.
do, like, anything." And I booked an chiropractic adjustment on Thursday.
You're going to see him without me?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Oh, I wish you would've
I
told me. I
know.
would've
Well,
gone.
so I booked it before our sister's volleyball game. So, like, I'll
Oh,
be, like, in the area. So if you wanna come,
okay.
yeah, you should.
Our family chiropractor why did I say it that way?
Chiropractor.
Our family chiropractor, we love him.
We absolutely love him. He's amazing,
Mhm.
honestly.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him all year because, I only go at the end of
Money.
the year when insurance will cover it,
Uh-huh.
when we met our deductible, and we met our deductible, so time to go.
We met our deductible already?
We met it, like, months
Oh
ago.
my gosh. Okay, that's honestly nice. I was expecting to pay
So
a
you're
little
going
bit.
to the chiropractor when you're on your break?
You're like, "Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah."
kidding. No.
Uh-huh.
No, but it sounded like you were gonna say something else that you're doing on,
Yeah,
like,
well, I
Friday.
was thinking about booking a massage, but I
Mm,
don't know yet. So anyway, I'm just gonna kinda take it easy those couple days and
yeah.
yeah.
I'm excited for you.
Thank
That'll be fun.
you. Alright,
Pedal
let's
to the
get in
metal the week after.
Yeah, yeah, pedal to the metal.
Alright.
Yeah, let's get into this episode. I know we've been wanting to talk about it because 'cause we've both seen a lot of stuff on social media,
Mhm.
as I'm sure everybody has, so let's get into it.
On September 16th, a young woman named Mahsa Amini was taken by the police in Iran, and she was taken because she was supposedly wearing her hijab wrong. And so she was apprehended by the police and taken to a re-education center. And they told her family that they were going to be educating her on how to properly wear her hijab for a few hours, and then she was going to be released. Um, She was not released. She ended up in a coma and then died in the hospital. And it was like directly she ended up in a coma right after the education center. Like she never went anywhere else.
Mhm.
So she was obviously killed in there or put into the coma in there. There was a lot of confusion. The officials wouldn't let the family see her body. And when like during the funeral, they saw her body, but it was like very wrapped up. She had bruises all over her feet. Like obviously she was beat to death.
Mhm.
And her father said that the authorities lied about her death, and like I said, like they would not let the family see the body after she passed, which is extremely sketchy.
That's odd.
And the officials claimed that she suffered a heart attack and that's why she went into the coma, but the family said that she had no pre-existing heart condition. Like why she was 22, I think. Why would a 22-year-old just
Die from a
randomly
heart
die from a
attack.
heart attack? And the officials won't let anyone see her body and
Mhm.
like no.
Mhm.
So, obviously this caused a lot of uproar because the whole reason she was apprehended by the police was because she was wearing her hijab incorrectly. So
Mhm.
she was taken by these men to tell her how to like modestly cover up. And so this sparked a lot of anger in Iran, but also across the entire world. Like there's demonstrations going on in
Mhm.
Denver.
Mhm.
And it's really calling into question like why do only women wear hijabs? Why is there so much violence against women in those countries that like follow Islamic law? And how do we get justice for this young woman who was killed? It's honestly really like it's really heartbreaking and like um yeah, all these videos on TikTok right now of like women protesting and men too. There's a ton of men,
Mhm.
but like women cutting their hair
Mhm.
and like to stand in solidarity, women literally taking off their hijabs like in public. And I will just say right now, like I am not educated on like Islamic
Islamic
law
culture,
and yeah,
yeah.
Islamic culture. Like I don't know. I did some research on it and I'll share that later in the episode. But like I'm not gonna like I can't say like why some women choose to wear it or not. Like I can
Mhm.
say what I read in like their Quran,
Quran.
Quran. But anyways, um like there's women that are like taking off their hijabs and like walking around to protest and
Mhm.
I can't imagine how scary that is. Like
Very scary, especially if you have worn a hijab your whole
your whole
life.
life and that's like part of your
Mhm.
identity.
Mhm.
So, yeah, there's obviously just like a lot of heartache around it and a lot of women standing up and saying enough is enough. Um, so there go ahead.
I just wanted to add, I think, again, I'm not like super educated on Islamic culture either, but I think the protests are stemming from the violence that women face
Mhm.
and the patriarchal oppression that women face,
Mhm.
as opposed to the hijab itself. Because some women, as far as I know, choose to wear that and they're totally okay with it and they want to,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, I was under the impression that it is a choice.
Mhm.
And not everyone is forced to, but it's also like that's what most women do.
Mhm.
So I agree with you. It's I think the protests are about fighting against the patriarchy
Right.
of it all, but at the same time, like I think part of it is against the hijab, in my opinion,
Mhm.
because women are literally taking them off in protest, burning their headscarves and cutting their hair.
Right, and I should do more research on different, I guess, rules about it
Mhm.
because, like, every country's different,
Right.
right? Like, for some countries, as far as I know, it is a requirement, like, you will wear it.
Yeah.
But other countries, it's more free.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll share some of the research that I did on
Okay.
it. Because I was confused too, and I don't wanna sit here and act like I know because I
Right,
don't.
right.
But I did try and educate myself as much as I could. Um, so like I said, there are literally thousands of people protesting this. There's demonstrations across 40 different cities in Iran alone, and they're just demanding an end to violence, like you were saying, and the discrimination against women in the country, because there is obvious discrimination.
Mhm.
Um, there's been at least 1,200 people that have been arrested in Iran, and this was put out a few days ago. So as we're recording this right now, it's Friday, September 30th. So as of now, at least 1,200 people have been arrested, but there is probably going to be more in the next 2 days. There's also dozens of protesters that have been killed while protesting. There's been like children that have been killed just because of the violence of it all.
Mhm.
The police are being extremely violent. They're like shooting like the metal pellets to like get
Like
protesters.
shrapnel?
No,
Oh.
it's like rubber bullets or something. I don't know.
Oh.
Um, but like they're using those a lot. They're using a ton of tear gas. Like they're just being very aggressive in
Mhm.
response. And there's really no need to be, because they're not like going crazy. Yeah, it's
Right.
like a protest, but
But
they're
that
not like
that fuels it though, for sure.
exactly. Exactly, you're right. Yeah, so because it's like Iran is under a dictatorship, it's kind of hard to know how many people have died, because they're also not letting journalists in, really. The government has shut off internet access, and that is the crazy thing. The last time they did this was a few years ago. They like shut off the internet and like restricted like VPNs and like any
That's
access.
crazy.
Yeah, until they were like, you guys need to calm down. And so they shut off access again. And I was listening to a podcast a few days ago, and this girl had like a bunch of like Iranian listeners like randomly, and they were sending her messages and saying like, they shut off our internet, so we can't share our stories, like please talk about this
Mhm.
so that somebody can get it out there.
Are they shutting down the internet because they think it'll, like, bribe people to stop?
They're saying you don't get internet until you calm down, but I think they just don't want the story to be shared.
That too, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they're like, they said once everything is calm, we'll give you your internet back, but you have no internet now.
That's
And
crazy.
since they're a dictatorship, they can literally control that.
Uh-huh. So they're
So,
trapped. It's like,
mhm.
when we talked about the Chinese women,
Exactly.
everything being censored.
Exactly. Everything is censored. They can't even share their story with the world. And I actually like, I think that that is like a really important similarity when we're looking at like feminist movements around the world. Like
Mhm.
they're so restricted. Even they can't even use their phone to send a video or post a TikTok about, hey, this is what's happening.
Right.
And like I said, like they're not even really letting like journalists have the freedom. They've arrested 17 journalists already
Mhm.
as of today. So like they don't even have the freedom of the press. So that is kind of like an overview of what is going on. Obviously, um it's really dangerous over there right now, and there's lots of different ways that women are protesting. Men and women have been cutting their hair, and there's like women like in the US, I've seen videos of like cutting their hair here too,
Wow.
like in protest. And there's a trend on TikTok of people like cutting their hair to a specific sound
Hmm.
that is like very moving. um so like women are cutting their hair, they're burning their hijabs, they're burning posters of their dictator leader, and they're also like chanting like down with the dictatorship. Like they're like
Wow.
really targeting him. And honestly, the protests, like they are getting pretty violent because they're being fueled with like all this negative energy back at them. And I think that they're just tired of it. So they're like burning like all these signs and stuff, they're burning them. There's like huge bonfires in the street, and like people just rioting because they're tired of it.
Yeah, they're ready to stand up.
Hmm. It's really awful. And obviously, like there's no way that Mahsa Amini is the only woman that this has happened to.
Mhm. I know, it makes you wonder
Uh-huh. Like what about the people who um don't have a family who loves them?
who report them
Who
and
yeah,
worry about them.
yeah, like who are gonna, like you said, notice if they're gone.
Mhm.
And like anything could happen if she didn't have any family or friends, or like if she was kind of like by herself,
Mhm.
she had been taken and killed, obviously, like nobody would know. So how many times have they gotten away with things like this? And
Mhm.
it really does make you think. It's just awful because, and even if like it doesn't end in someone dying, I was thinking about this, like, when I was thinking about the re-education center, like, first off, what is that about?
Mhm.
Who's doing the re-education? Is it men?
Right, and what does it involve?
And what does it involve? Because I'm sure that there is so much sketchy stuff that goes on in there that they just get away with in the name
Mhm.
of re-educating people,
Mhm. Right,
re-educating
it's such
women.
a power play
Mhm.
because if the roles were reversed, I mean, men don't wear hijabs for modesty or anything, but,
Mm-mm.
like, it was these men that beat her up because of something they could have just said, "Hey, you're wearing
Fix
that
it.
wrong, fix
Yeah.
it," right? Instead of bringing her somewhere.
Mhm. Yeah. It The whole idea of, like, a re-education center just seems wrong to me. It seems like it's breeding grounds for a lot of discrimination and violence against women. Um, I would love to know if this re-education center is only for women or if there's things that men can be re-educated about and they get sent there too. Like, I would love to know that. I couldn't really find any clarification on what exactly goes on there,
Mhm,
which makes me even more feel like it's the most sketchy place in the world where a
mhm,
lot of bad stuff happens.
mhm.
So, yeah, it's really awful. You guys can do more research on her whole story. I mean, she was a beautiful woman and her family loved her. She seemed to just bring so much light into the world. And these protests really started the day after her funeral.
Oh,
So, like, it's awful because her family is trying to mourn this while also, like, I'm sure they're angry and want the protests to happen too.
right.
But at the same time, like, just trying to mourn at the same time as like
A
all of this
very
going
brutal
on.
death of a
Yeah.
family member.
Yeah, it's just really awful. So we want to like send our condolences to her family and um yeah, it's just really awful. Kind of like I was touching on before. I want to kind of share the research about like why women wear a hijab based off of what I found. Um this was on like an official Islam website, like islam.org, and it seemed to be very credible.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm basically just going to read what the website said because like we said, like we are not Islamic.
Right.
So, I don't want to like speak out of place. But I want to just share what I found on the official like Islam website. Um because I don't want to make it seem like in this episode it's like, "Oh, hijabs are anti-feminist," because I don't know. I
Mhm.
don't know the reasoning behind it, you know? So I just want to share.
Right. I think if it's your choice, then it's not anti-feminist. If
Mhm.
you're being forced to wear something or forced to do anything,
Yeah.
that is
It is
anti-feminist.
anti-feminist, yeah. So, okay. In the Quran, it says, this is a quote, "This is more appropriate so that they may be known as Muslim women and thus not be harassed or molested." So this, meaning wearing the hijab, is more appropriate so that they're known to be Muslim women and are not harassed or molested.
Same idea as boys will be boys.
Yes, and it literally said in the website, since men are lustful, hijabs are meant to protect the modesty of women. So it's meant to like cover yourself so that men aren't like lusting after you and men can't control themselves.
Right.
So, that's what the website says. This is also a quote. It says, "Hijab protects women from such men. It symbolizes that she has been sanctified to one man only and is off limits to all others."
Okay.
Um, Another quote, "Hijab contributes to the stability and preservation of marriage and family by eliminating the chances of extramarital affairs."
Okay.
And then another quote, "Finally, it compels men to focus on the real personality of the woman and de emphasizes her physical beauty. It puts the woman in control of strangers' reactions to her."
That's interesting. Honestly, I kind of like that. It's like Love is Blind, where like you're getting to know somebody, not me comparing that. But like it just the concept is interesting because all of the other ones I have opinions on that
So,
I think we could all guess what they are.
mhm.
But that is very interesting to me.
I don't like that one because it's saying it compels men to focus on the real personality of women.
So
Women can also lust after men.
right.
So
And it's
why is a
basic
man not covering up?
Right. Okay, I see what you mean.
I think it's a double standard. But I mean, I get it. It's like, okay, like that's cute, but no.
That's cute.
Like yeah.
No, I get it. Like, there's 2 opinions that I can see both sides on.
Exactly. Yeah,
Mhm.
I can see both sides too.
I do agree it's a double standard.
Mhm. Yeah, the other ones, hijab protects women from men and it contributes to the stability of marriage because it eliminates the
People
chances
are
of having
still
an
gonna have
affair.
affairs.
Exactly.
But I don't really know the culture in Islamic countries, so I'm not sure if that's, like, a common thing, like, I feel like it's
I
actually,
think
like
it's like in the world, they're still in the world, so I'm pretty sure
yeah,
it still
that's true.
happens. Um Another thing, the last thing from the website that I thought was interesting, it said, this is a quote: hijab is not a symbol of oppression. Women are oppressed because of socioeconomic reasons, even in countries where women have never heard about hijab. On the contrary, the practice of displaying pictures of almost naked women in the commercials, billboards, and in the entertainment industry in the West is a true symbol of oppression, which I actually agree with.
I do too. That's a really good point, actually.
Hmm.
That is actually, like, a better way of saying what I said in the beginning, how, like, I
Exactly.
don't think it's about the hijab, it's about the violence women face and the
Hmm.
harassment and the discrimination, right?
Yeah.
Because yeah, it is oppressed because of socioeconomic reasons.
Yeah.
Because it's going to happen. It happens in countries where women don't wear hijabs.
Exactly. Yeah, and I really liked that quote because it's like they're calling out like in their opinion why the real reason why women are oppressed and they're calling out like women are oppressed.
Hmm.
But it's not because they're wearing hijabs. So I agree with you. In my opinion, if you're going to force anyone to wear anything, then that is not giving women the right to choose. So in countries where you're forced to wear that, then obviously you don't have freedom as a woman to choose. But if you make that choice to wear it, in my opinion, like I'm sure that there's beautiful reasons behind making that choice. So I'm not going to come down on that at all. But I do think that there's probably more cases of women not choosing to wear it than choosing. And in those cases, I think it's totally against feminism. And I think it's really not giving women the rights they deserve,
Hmm.
especially in 2022. I
2020.
always
Oh
say
my
2020
gosh.
every time we record. I just think it's
Yeah.
2020 still.
Well, I think the situation is awful, and I didn't know there were protests in Denver. I would love to go and
Yeah.
support because we were talking about this because I mentioned in the beginning, everybody has seen the progression of these protests
Mhm.
and this event happening.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned, like, this is as big as Roe v. Wade.
Yeah.
It's just a different type of right,
Yeah.
right?
I did say that.
Right. So I do think that's important. And that's why we chose to do a full episode about this because it is really important to showcase events that are happening outside of the United States and outside of like our little bubble
Mhm.
because there are people fighting right now for justice for Mahsa Amini.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with everything you said. Like it is really important that we cover such an important topic. Um and we'll continue to give updates at the beginning if anything else happens, if anything comes of it. Um but for now I think it's about trying to spread the stories because they don't have internet and keeping that momentum going for them and trying to do everything we can to like listen, try and donate to causes. There's a few TikToks that I saved to my camera roll that I'm gonna post on the story once this episode goes
Okay,
live
that'd be great.
because they were like very, very moving. Like I was like moved to tears. It's just like really awful. Um, so yeah, I want to share those, but I just think like I mean, we talk about this all the time, but even like sharing something on social media, it does more than you think.
Hmm.
Like if nobody shared anything on social media, how would we know?
Right. And everybody has a platform. So like
Exactly.
just as much as like we'll share stuff on the story, like go reshare stuff. Go check out
Mhm.
the stuff we post and reshare it and
Mhm.
spread the story.
Yeah. So with that being said, that is this week's episode. Um if you guys want to keep up to date with us and see any of this content that we're going to be posting and sharing from different videos about this whole story, then go ahead and give us a follow at Real Talk About Feminism Pod on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. We never post on Twitter.
Nope.
But Instagram and TikTok. And then if you would like to subscribe to our email newsletter, then you can click the link in our show notes or go to our website and fill out the contact form. And you'll just get one email a week with some content. We'll put the TikToks actually in the newsletter
Yeah, that
too.
would be great.
So, yeah, just give us a little subscription onto the newsletter, stay up to date. And as always, if you guys have any thoughts, then reach out to us and we'll hear or we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.